I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33. And the Shadow Teacher 33 channel is not a channel for the masses. It is not a channel for the mediocre. It's not a channel for the weak. It is not a channel for the faint of heart. It is a channel for those bold enough to stare directly into the abyss, dive into the darkness within themselves, diving into the shadow, into the cave that some never return from, with the faith that through that darkness lies the treasure they seek. And more importantly, the treasure that the world needs, the medicine that can only be gifted through those courageous enough to take the journey. And when we look into our shadows, when we take this bold journey, this journey by the nature of what it is going to be uncomfortable. The New Age community always touts axioms and pleasantries about love and light, but to reach our human potential, we have to be willing to be uncomfortable. And a foundation of human health and thriving is community. We humans are not meant to be alone. We're meant to live in community. Health and vitality, nutrition, exercise, sleep, they're important, but every bit, if not more so as important, is community. And some say that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. And what I'm finding right now is that people are dropping out of my life, left and right. I'm being called to be something bolder. There's a light calling me and a flame that burns. And when we're called by something that is bigger than our comfort zone, an authentic drive that is propelling us forward, then people who are used to an older version of us, when we start to show up as that version of ourselves, sometimes people will fall out of our lives because they no longer resonate with what you're becoming. And when you start to do the shadow work and you look at the versions of yourself, the behaviors that have been limiting you, and you consciously are aware of the limitations that those negative behaviors are creating in your world, and you do that life audit, and you notice that people in your life, what you bond with them on, no longer is in resonance with what you're becoming, and the way you behave with them is misaligned as well, and it's keeping you stuck. And when this calling to come forward, to be authentically who you're meant to be, is so strong that the hard thing to do sometimes is to let go of those people, say goodbye to them, let them fall out of your life, and sometimes you kick them out yourself. And for me, in this season, that's especially hard. Like, I'm somebody who thrives with the right people, the right community. I am a band guy. But the season of my life now has forced me to be a solo artist. And I thrive as a band guy. But right now, the right thing to do is to fly solo. And many people are so uncomfortable being alone. See, being alone back in the tribal days, it was a death sentence, because someone had a 0 chance of surviving in the wilderness. by themselves. But in the new world that is unfolding, being alone at times is a necessity. And when you're identity shifting and you are stepping in to a greater version of yourself, a greater expression of potential, when you're remembering who you're called to be, then sometimes a season of solitude is what is required. And it takes a brave soul to go through this, because in that season of solitude, that season of fasting, there's a time when you are starved. You're starved of that human connection that we all need, the touch, the empathy, the oxytocin that we get from being with other human beings. But in exchange, you're opening up to divine revelation. You're opening up to that higher self that was suffocating in that old environment, in that old limiting version of you that is being called to release, to be released. An old version of you has to die for something new to be born. That's a law of the universe. If we hold on to everything, something new cannot come through. And that's what so many people have a hard time doing. You have to let go to become. You have to let go to grow something new. You have to make space. And if you find yourself in a time of isolation and loneliness right now, and there's part of you that is suffering from this because you're missing out on that needed part of the human experience, that need for other human beings, need for quality relationships in your life, know that this is simply a season. You are crossing a threshold. And as that old version of you dies, as it kicks and screams, wants to hold on, but you do the brave thing by letting it die, letting those relationships fall away, kicking those people out of your life who don't need to be there anymore. What you're doing is you're allowing the seeds to be planted for the version of you who's going to attract the right people into your life. You are stoking the fire in your heart that's going to be a beacon that attracts the tribe that a higher version, the greater version, the truer, more authentic version of you is going to thrive in community with. And though it may seem dark right now, remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. And as you go into the shadow within yourself, that little torch that's guiding your way, eventually that's going to burn and become this beacon, and you are going to be that lighthouse that attracts a love, the community, the connection that you never before felt, that is more authentic and feels more real than anything you've ever known, because these are the people you were meant for. And know that you are not alone. Know that if you're going through a season of isolation, may this channel be a mirror to your experience. May this be a beacon of support. Be strong, be well, be bold, and I'll see you on the other side, my friend.